What kind of stuff are they giving you the most trouble about in terms of censorship? Nudity or
like
lying?
waking up.
Just getting out of bed in the morning?
They just have it in their minds that they want to hire somebody, but they don't want any communication made. You know, they want to like make you into something. I don't know. It's like, I guess it goes into white homes. They're worried about that a lot.
What do they? Yeah, you know, it's funny. Gwen Barrett, our associate producer, or sometime producer, is black. You know, and Carmen Matias is Hispanic.
You have to be colored to be on television. You can't,
yeah, colored.
Yes, you can't be black. You have to have a little colored in there, just a taste.
Tad.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting to America.
Yeah. Well, she said, and we were talking about your humor, that your humor offends white people, and I'm not that easily offended. Like, I'm not coming from a spot where Richard Pryor is going to offend me. I think you have humor that makes us see a lot of the truth and laugh at things we wouldn't normally laugh at. I think that's part of what you're doing. What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Alright guys, so we're in the home stretch of the videos, and I just want to actually say welcome back. I want to bring up a point, and this is actually, you know, bear with me, because I'm going to be the whole killjoy and shit like that, and I want to actually make sure that I address a few points. Motherfuckers they don't really understand comedy. They don't really get comedy. They only believe that comedy is something that should be offensive, and it should be something that makes people mad and angry, and that's the only way to have true fucking comedy. Which is patently stupid, and quite frankly, that gives excuses for so many people to just be assholes. And the right has actually taken a lot of they've taken the whole piss people off part of comedy, instead of understand like the social ills that really come for people who are actively just trying to piss people off with comedy, but actually bring a, you know, better point. People on the right like to point to people like Carlin or Richard Pryor or, you know, early Eddie Murphy as people who push the envelope, seem cool because they told it how it is. Never once realizing that these are the people who literally were bringing up a social point to reflect, you know, a reality that was happening in the world. And they want to say comedy is all, you know, twisted and you can't say anything now because political correctness. When in truth, a lot of these people, they don't understand that you just can't say, ha ha. You can't just yell the N-word to make people laugh and just think that, oh yeah, that's just me being edgy. So when you get a comedian like Dave Chappelle, who, ironically enough, I just watched his opening Saturday Night Live skit, and it was fucking like, it had some boos, it had some silence, it had some, ooh, I know Dave didn't say that on national TV. He dropped the N-word a few times, which was fucking ironic because Saturday Night Live isn't a left-leaning show, it's a fucking liberal show. with the liberal trappings of power, but you can actually see they like, are we supposed to laugh? He's called somebody a white N word. Are we supposed to laugh or are we supposed to be upset? And you can just feel the uncomfortableness in the crowd. But Dave Chappelle is like, fuck, I'm gonna do me. But a lot of these guys that's on the right wing don't understand the point that he's coming from. So let's just hear somebody who doesn't understand why a lot of Dave Chappelle's comedy is misunderstood. Let's go.
I really like Dave Chappelle. I think he's really funny.
Oh, by the way, like and subscribe. I forgot to say it.
I think he's down to earth. He doesn't really care if anybody's hurt by his jokes. He just goes out there and he does his job, and he does his job very, very well. Very, very well. If you remember last year, Sticks and Stones, a lot of people didn't really have very nice things to say about it in the TV critic area. As you can see, I've got this pulled up. Here's the Rotten Tomatoes. 35% amongst 17 critics. 99% audience score, 40,000 ratings.
And see, this is the shit that I was just talking about. A lot of these guys are literally like, oh yeah, he pissed off critics, so he must be telling them how it is. And it's just like, no, that's not, the comedy is supposed to make you uncomfortable. But a lot of these guys don't understand that. But let's continue.
This is another really good example of how out of touch critics and regular people are. They're not in touch with the regular people. That's kind of been something that I've talked about quite a bit over the past couple of months, and so have a lot of other people. But the reviews for this were very, very like people. It's istophobic. It's terrible. It's disappointing. I can't believe he did this. But the audiences loved it because it kind of gave the finger to PC culture and a lot of other things that people are sick of, and that's why it was so successful. But of course, critics, they want everything to be inclusive and safe, so they didn't like it. Well, he ended up getting another last laugh on top of the tremendous success.
Oh my god, these motherfuckers, like, oh, it's not about a last laugh. Yes, okay, critics are out of touch. I will give you that. And take it as somebody who's, quote unquote, tried to do some criticism of different movies or reviews of different movies. Yeah, of course. I don't have the mindset that you see with a lot of critics. And I can understand how people can be disheartened to actually hear that shit. But, like, let's let him go.
That was Sticks and Stones. I guess the comedy special ended up winning 2 awards, and people are quite salty about it. Now, I didn't know that he won these because, well, I don't think I'm the only one. A lot of people didn't even really care about the Emmys because, like I said in my previous video, no one cares about it. The low viewership was a record low for them. Nobody was watching it. Nobody cares about these pompous-ass celebrities and their opinions and their woke takes. Nobody cares about them.
Except for people that's in the right wing. Then you care about that. Donald Trump, Dennis Miller, all these motherfucking John Voight. You care about these motherfuckers because they're saying the shit that you actually you want. You want to say. And yeah, I actually watched some British comedy and oh yeah, it's a stark difference. And their dark humor is a lot different from our dark humor. But like these motherfuckers, they hate Hollywood until they can get a Hollywood starstruck motherfucker. Ronald Reagan was a Hollywood fucking elitist. He was a fucking Hollywood actor. But no. Because they don't stick up for what they believe their opinion is. Then it's a fucking problem. It's like with Nike and fucking and goddamn the video went out. But it's like, no, I haven't seen that. I gotta start doing just more out the box shit. Amazon Prime has been really helpful to a lot of shows. Just not just inclusive in the American sphere. And I know like that's cult what is that fuck when you not cultivated fuck what is that word when you select things like cultured in a fuck, I forget that word. Where you select things like they're in a museum. But yeah, like no, like these motherfuckers just it's like they like Dave Chappelle because he can actually say the N word on TV and not get censored, but like they don't like the actual things that he's actually saying. Like if they were like these are the same motherfuckers that freaked out when he did the 847 or some shit like that. These are the same motherfuckers that freaked out. How dare he get political? But let's continue.
This picture of them putting out a trash fire is quite fitting for the situation. But what I wanted to talk about was some of the salty takes to him winning an award and his speech, which was absolutely fantastic. It's about a 2-minute speech where he kind of thanks his editor and tells critics to shut the F up after his poorly reviewed special wins. And and this is why I like Dave, because Dave just lets his middle finger fly. He's got FU money, and he doesn't really care about becoming richer. The dude's pretty down to earth. From what I remember, he's got a bunch of land. And he just rides dirt bikes and four-wheelers all the time in Ohio.
Like, okay, he's rides dirt bikes and four wheelers in Ohio, and like that doesn't make him some working class hero. He's fucking rich. And just like he said when Trump got elected, Trump isn't doing this shit for you. He's doing this shit for people like Dave Chappelle. He is literally doing tax cuts for people like Dave Chappelle. But motherfuckers won't believe that because they want to hold on to this whole this whole idyllic that these people are just like me. No, motherfucker, that's not what. No, that's not how that works. But fuck, let's continue.
So I don't think he really cares if he doesn't get some big movie from this. He seems quite happy to just do stand up and leave it at that. So he got up on stage when he won his Emmy, and he said, "Boy, this comes as a complete surprise," Chappelle said in a pre-recorded speech. "I mean, I read all the reviews, and they said so many terrible things. They were embarrassed for me. I had lost my way. It wasn't even worth watching. I hope all of you critics learn from this. This is a teachable moment. Shut the F up forever." Then he went on to thank his wife and a few other things, but I love that he got to get the last laugh on all these stupid critics. And even the best part is a quote from IndieWire in their own article on this, which makes this great. I can't believe I missed this story. I wish I could have hit this on the day of the Emmys. I'm sorry. I really don't care who wins awards, but in this case, it's beautiful.
So, and this is the thing. This is why I'm so disappointed in the election. People don't want to actually take a stand because of the shit that these people who they quote unquote believe that their heroes are. They like the fact that they're throwing a middle finger to what they believe is the establishment. That's unhealthy because if you don't stand for anything, if you don't stand for it, when you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And this is that fucking grift that a lot of these guys are fucking falling for because in the end, the only thing they care about is pissing off the libs. And that shit, how though? How is it that the only thing you want to do is make somebody mad? Please tell me that. Please tell me why making somebody mad is the best thing in the world. Because I don't get it. You know what I care about? I care about people being better, people doing better. But this whole idea of we have to own the libs, and that what gets their dick hard in the morning, owning the libs, that's not helpful. The only thing that does is just make your existence sadder. But let's continue.
So IndieWire's Television Awards editor Libby Hill wrote of Chappelle's Emmy, Sticks and Stones has been controversial ever since it debuted on Netflix in August 2019 due to the many of the people Chappelle chose to target with his humor, including various groups, communities, and particular individuals. And the hashtag METOO movement. The men who accused Michael Jackson of things and cancel culture that dares to hold people, particularly those with privilege, power, and or wealth, accountable for those words. Of course, that cancel culture argument isn't quite as effective when you end up winning 2 Emmys for your pointedly cruel, misogynistic, and istophobic humor. Boo! And that's not all.
Like, he's getting some glee from this. Seeing that somebody's upset. Like, I've never gotten, like, even with this week, I've never gotten to a point where I'm just drooling with, like, believe that somebody's upset. Like, this shit doesn't make sense. As much as I hate the fucking shit that the MAGA guys stand for, I still have fucking compassion that they believe that their God Emperor Trump was actually looking out for them. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. And, like, I don't, like, this whole seething rage. I mean, like, how? How the fuck do you sit back and just have this seething rage and anger that, oh no, the world revolves around me, and I need to piss off everybody and what, like, that much, like, to quote Naruto here, that much hatred must not feel good at all. Like, how do you sit with that, man? Like, I don't get that. That hatred must not, it's just like, it will be too heavy on my heart. But, the fuck? Let's continue.
There's more people that are quite upset. We can head over to Reset Era. Reset Era Takes 2.0 was nice enough to post these the other day. Here's the thread that was sitting over there. Dave Chappelle to 2 critics after winning his Emmy. This is a teachable moment. Shut the F up forever. I wonder what was going on with that thread. We head over, we take a look at some of the takes. Invisible Cities, banned. Why was he banned? Well, user banned for dismissive drive-by post regarding bigotry. Prior severe ban for xenophobia. This is all he said to get banned. I thought it was a good acceptance speech, and I suggest people watch it. Dave does not translate well into text on page. And then we got Prine that got banned for 2 weeks because he was gatekeeping bigotry. It says, lol, he's allowed. We got some more.
I don't get it. Like, he is just, like, gleeful about this shit. Is it just me, chat? Is it just me? Like, you know what gets my penis hard? Being on the same wavelength of a young lady and we're having a deep, interesting conversation with the promise of her touching my penis. Me actually doing something exciting, me actually just being, like, you know, engaged with a good conversation. But these motherfuckers are triggered sexual. Like, they literally are people that get aroused off of triggering people. That shit is so fucking toxic. And I don't get it. Like, it's not that serious to me in order to just be like, oh yeah, somebody's mad. Oh yeah, oh they mad. Oh, don't touch me. Like, that shit, it sounds as sorry as they're making it. Like, how fucked up is your world that you're that pissed off because somebody got banned? I mean, like, I wouldn't even want the Orange Man bad. I do want the Orange Man bad to get banned, but that's because he's fucking spreading misinformation. Not because, oh, I just want to see him banned off of Twitter. When he's not longer the president, he's gonna be banned off of Twitter. Like, no. It doesn't make fucking sense to me. And you know what? I don't know how much more of this shit I can watch. But anyway, guys, like, you tell me, like, at what point is it just like, at what point is it where it's just like, yo, maybe I'm taking a little bit too much Schadenfreude off of this. Maybe. I don't know. Like, anyway, guys, I, 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 I'm done with this video. I'm done with this video. God, these people, boy, these people.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, they're probably afraid of that because then people don't hate each other, and people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other. They find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but.
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts
the system
eating.
levels them.
Pretty soon it's all
Is that
gone.
what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.